Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Irvin. If you guys are new here, this is my IS300. Now today we are in the shop again, but it's not actually to be working on this car. Today I'm going to be showing you some stuff that I got for this car. This is my 1987 Mazda Rx7. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you guys know that I've had this for a good amount of time, and it's actually been down because the apex seals blew on it. Oh God! Oh, it sounds so bad. Now, I've been collecting parts for it for a while, and I'm pretty excited about what I got to show you. So right here we got a little pile of parts. This box specifically is what we're gonna be opening today. So I'm gonna get it out and I'm gonna show you guys what's inside. All right, guys, as you guys can see, this is a box coming from Mazda Tricks, which is a website that sells a bunch of rotary parts. So let's get this thing open. We got two smaller boxes. Well, what could they be? They are one of the things that we need to complete this project. So, as you guys know, when an apex seal blows, it chooches a rotor. And now we've got two brand new ones from Mazda. You guys can see these came in the original Mazda boxes with the Mazda part numbers on them. That's so sick. So, I'm gonna take these along with the rest of my rotating assembly to a rotary shop to get balanced, and then we're gonna be able to put these in the car. I've got this big old tub. It's full of the rest of my rotating assembly. So you guys can see I've got my counterweight. I brought two of them just because I think one of them's an S4, one of them's an S5, so I'm gonna have to let them figure that out. Got my eccentric shaft. Now, gonna have my rotors. So those guys will be shipped off to Atkins Rotary. We're gonna drive over there now. And then here you can see we got a rebuild kit. So I'm just gonna leave this guy at the shop. We'll need that later. But for now, it's time for us to get over to Atkins Rotary. It's about a 2 to 3 hour drive. We're gonna be cutting it pretty close because they close at 3 and it's currently noon. We're gonna try to get there a little bit faster than the map says that it's gonna take. I'm sure that in this mean machine, it won't be an issue, but we're gonna have to get going. So I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so we are currently leaving. It is currently 11:36 and we should be there by 2:05. And I've just learned that apparently I don't know how to read an analog clock because it was definitely not noon when I told you guys it was noon. The drive back from the shop is always such a fucking sick one, dude. I love this shit. So I'm not gonna lie to you guys, this place is in the middle of nowhere, dude. I've been driving for so long on like roads that look like this, just driving straight into the forest. And I haven't found any signs of civilization yet. All right, boys, here we are, Atkins Rotary. All right, so I just dropped off the rotating assembly over at Atkins Rotary. The guys are super cool there. They gave me a full tour of the shop. They've got a lot of crazy stuff in there. It's honestly really cool seeing how alive and well the rotary community still is at this point in time. So like, it makes me super happy seeing all that. They said that honestly turnaround time is probably gonna be by Tuesday. So hopefully soon, we'll be able to stack this old girl. That's pretty much one of the last things that I'm waiting on right now is just getting the rotating assembly balanced, and then I'll be able to stack her. So I'm super excited. We'll be coming back later on, hopefully sometime around next week, and we'll get the whole thing stacked. So on my way home, I found this amazing spot to stop at. This is a little boat launch. And I think I might take some new pictures, see if I can make a new banner for the channel. So I'm gonna go see what kind of stuff I can get. All right, I got a good amount of pictures. There should be something cool in there, but look at that, dude. Wild, wild. So I'm gonna get back home. I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, so since I'm forced to come into work, I brought my rotor housings in. These are the ones that I'm gonna be using on the NA build. You can see they're nice and clean. Not really any damage on that, not really any chatter marks or anything. These are good. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean these up. I got a little scuff pad over here. so that I can start painting. I'm gonna set up a little paint booth in this corner. They shouldn't have put me in this corner because I'm gonna fucking use it. But these guys are gonna be nice and yellow here pretty soon. So it's currently my lunchtime. It's been honestly super hard to balance all this. But you guys can see I've got one of my rotor housings completely cleaned off. You can see right here all of those casting marks. So up here, all that gross stuff is all taken care of on this new one. You know me, I'm all about the details. So that one is pretty close to getting paint. I got a little impromptu paint booth set up next to my box. Everything's a big mess because honestly, dude, it's been hard getting work done and all of this at the same time. But we're getting close. So this guy, I'm pretty much just going to clean it all up, make sure there's no more, you know, aluminum dust. It's kind of like all over me too. But I'm gonna make sure to clean that all up, mask all of the parts that don't need paint, and then get this thing all laid down in primer while I prep this guy. Matt, shut the fuck up!
What, Irvin? I don't bug you out, okay?
You're being loud and I'm trying to take a video, you fuck.
What? I'm always loud. I have no regard for anybody other than Orange King. And now you're not on Orange King.
Fucked up, dude. This shit's fucked up. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and start masking this. So you guys can see there are a bunch of bolt holes all along this. What I usually like to do is roll up earplugs, stick them in there, and then cut them with my flush cuts. So once those completely puff up, it makes a nice seal where no paint can get in. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick those in all of the holes. You guys can see this is a machine surface. I'm not gonna touch that. That's all gonna get just completely masked. Then spark plugs, we're gonna throw some spark plugs in the spark plug holes and make sure that there's no paint getting into there. And then we're gonna mask off this entire piece with the bottom also. Just like that, she's all masked up. You can see I got a nice little hose and some tape on those studs. These holes are plugged, that hole is plugged, and then I've got some plugs in the spark plug hole, so I can go ahead and start spraying. Right, so at this point I just got off. You guys can see I got the second one completely clean. Now the first one is looking great. Look at that. That's so sick. So I'm gonna throw one more coat of the clear coat on. That's my alarm to get the clear coat on. So I'm gonna throw one more coat on this guy and leave it overnight just so that it'll dry and cure perfectly. It ain't much, but it's honest work. Tomorrow I'm going to be coming in a little bit late. Me and the IS are going to be going back to Edenville, Washington to pick up the rotating assembly that I have balanced at Atkins. So I'm super excited about that. That's going to be the last thing that we need to stack this sandwich. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So it's about 5 a.m. We're about to start our 2.5-hour trek up to Atkins Rotary. I actually had to tell my boss that I have an appointment today, so I wouldn't be able to make it to the first half of work. I didn't say what the appointment was. I mean, technically I wasn't lying, but I mean, it's self-care, you know, self-care. GPS currently says that we're gonna be there at about 7:29, so we're gonna try to beat that, obviously, because I'm a race car driver. 7:24. We officially arrived at Atkins Rotary. And we're back at the shop, so I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what we actually ended up getting back from Atkins. So of course over here we have our two housings that we painted in that video. I've got the end plates I ended up painting off camera because painting end plates black is not super exciting. All the main parts that we need to build the engine are pretty much there. Now let's go upstairs. I'll show you guys what we actually got back from Atkins and what they ended up doing to it. Alright, so the first thing we ended up getting back from Atkins, of course, is our rotors. So on a couple faces of them, you can actually see some extra milling right here. That was all weight that was taken out of this rotor to make sure that it is balanced. This is going to make sure that this rotor is going to be able to spin at high RPMs without really causing any sort of vibrations or doing anything that we don't really want. This is going to help a lot because rotary engines love to live at high RPMs, and my foot loves to keep them at high RPMs. Next up, we got our eccentric shaft. These guys don't actually get balanced, but I have to send them out there because the entire assembly has to get balanced with the eccentric shaft that you're going to be using. So this is the one that's going in the car. Now last but definitely not least, we have our counterweights. We got the front counterweight and the rear counterweight. They always come with a front counterweight, but the manuals did not actually come with a rear counterweight. That's because the flywheel on the manuals is actually that rear counterweight. Now, that's not really cool because the flywheels on the manuals are extremely heavy. They're big, chunky pieces of metal, and it kind of limits you as far as what clutch you can run. Now, I didn't really want to be bound by the chains of a stock flywheel, so I ended up upgrading. I asked the guys over at Atkins if they had any spare counterweights, and they just ended up having some. So this is actually an Rx7 rear counterweight for an automatic. Now, as you guys can see, it's got bolt holes on it. Right here, a little 6-bolt pattern, because this is meant to have a flex plate bolted onto the back side of it. Now, where that comes in handy is because any lightweight flywheel that we end up buying for the Rx7 is going to be able to bolt up to this. Now, all of those are zero balance, so all of the balance will be taking place in the counterweights. Now I'm super stoked about that because that's going to allow us to run some very light flywheels on this thing, and that means very punchy, very quick throttle response. And honestly, that's one of my favorite things about having an Rx7, that rotary feel that you just don't get with any other type of engine. So pretty soon we're going to be assembling this thing, and I'm over the moon, man. I cannot wait to get this car back on the road. I know most of you guys are here for the IS300, but trust me when I say this, the Rx7 is just as much fun, if not more. So if you guys have made it to the end of the video, just know I appreciate the hell out of you guys. Honestly, we wouldn't be doing any of the stuff that we're doing without you guys watching at home. With that being said, if there's anything else you guys want to see on the channel, make sure to post it in the comments. My light just died. Awesome. Well, anyways, I'm thinking about starting to post twice a week instead of once a week because it's kind of gotten to the point where posting once a week is pretty sustainable, but I want to get a little more content out for you guys. Let me know if that's something you guys would like to see. With that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.